Next is from the El Grande Botman of Baja, California. Hey, fellas. So ever since reports of WBD being sold to Paramount, a bunch of dweebs have been celebrating the cancellation of AEW. I'm not a fan of AEW, aside from the Hurt Business, XM, and Christian. I can't understand wanting to celebrate a company possibly going out of business. Not only is Tony Khan stimulating the economy with his company, he's giving talent great paid jobs that would otherwise have to work indies. But more importantly, he provides myself and the IWC plenty of content to discuss every week. While I don't watch the shows, I do love watching clips of their botches when TK bumbles through his analysis and listening to your reviews are far more entertaining than any AEW show. The fact that he had acclaimed the Jurassic Express reunite the same week, which was less than a month after Edge and Christian reuniting, is hilarious, especially since all three were haphazardly done. Anyways, sure AEW's, but Dynamite still comes in at number 6 in higher ratings for the night, and is financed by a billionaire. So Paramount does buy WBD. Do you think they will cancel AEW? I don't see why, since all WWE shows have homes on other platforms, and if they did get canceled, you'd think they'd have a hard time finding a new home. They do usually land in the top 5 cable shows of the night, but they do like to bleed and cuss, which I could see being an issue, and TK might lose sickos if he cuts back on the blood and cussing. Do you think it's best for the wrestling business if AEW sticks around? What do you think might happen to the wrestling landscape if AEW does fold? Also, what does it mean if WBD does hold ownership in the AEW and gets sold to Paramount? Because we know TK isn't the sole owner since he refused to disclose all the owners in the Camera Guy lawsuit. By the way, DI, here's another example of Cody Rhodes taking your advice and working smarter. How weird is it that he and the sickos like to remind everyone about how he schooled you, even though everything he said in his infamous rebuttal was irrelevant and verifiable fake news? What's this thing here?
I don't get it.
Well, he's being safe. I guess
he's protecting from because he wasn't with the chair shot. All right, I got
it. Right. So, well, that's just basic. That didn't look good because he put his hands up too far away from his head. But yeah, but I think I think Cody would agree with me today that what I said, that nobody knows how to work anymore. All those guys are doing is working for Meltzer. It's true. All those guys are working for Meltzer because they still put over Meltzer. It's funny how a lot of their wrestlers will come to Meltzer's defense. That would have never happened back in the day. Like if you were talking to Meltzer, you kept on the down low. It's like now these guys are like, they're like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. So next,
he's really feeding into it too, where people are always saying you're on AEW's payroll, you're too pro, and he went really nuts last week about the numbers. No, this is what NXT got. I have the right, and the whole max numbers. He defends that company fervently, and it looks like everyone's correct that he's a shill.
This is my philosophy. Basically my philosophy. So I'm far more entertainment than actual ring work. Okay, because there's a thing now where there's an emphasis on the work and the match and the match quality, right? That's the thing. I will steadfastly argue that match quality is a small percentage of the big picture, unless you really stick out and you're special and you're unique, right? Like a guy for instance, like Konnan, like Vikingo. He was kind of, even in the realm of high flying, he was kind of special and unique, right? But you would probably prefer like a guy like Alberto Del Rio, who is excellent on promos and stuff like that. The guy that tells the stories, that's good at storytelling. That audience thinks that the wrestling is so great that everybody should be watching it. My dude, a lot of you guys interviews suck. They're not. They don't. And a lot of what the funny thing too is about that style. Nobody really takes time to work the crowd. They just get right through they're wrestling. They're doing all their moves and stuff. Nobody really does any. There's no character work during the matches. I don't know. That's just my quick little rant there. You got any comment on that? What would you prefer? Good talkers or good workers?
Yeah, charismatic guys that can talk.
Right.
But it's just weird because it's a niche audience. Some people like hardcore wrestling. I used to like hardcore wrestling. I don't anymore. Right.
Right.
I actually brought it to Mexico from ECW.
Right.
But I remember when I first started, I used to watch matches from start to finish, learned as much as I could. I was a big mark for Japanese matches. And now I don't, I just fast forward because I've seen them so many, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unless it's a friend of mine or I know it's going to be really good, then I'll watch the whole thing. But
Or it's like an angle that's been building up.
right.
So it's like there's been a bunch of interviews being done. Right, invested, and they're going to do spots in the match where it's part of the storyline. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
but I'm more into vignettes, backstage, in-ring promos. That's really what catches my eye more than anything. As far as who's supposed to buy Paramount, supposed to buy WBD, I don't think they would cancel them because they have a contract with them. But that number they got last week and the week before, that's not good. You know what I'm saying? Because it was even lower than.
Oh, was it Dynamite?
Yeah.
Oh, Dynamite numbers weren't that bad last week.
Oh, then they go. Didn't we have one number and later we found out it was lower, Joe?
Yeah, but they're not doing anything. A couple, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, they had terrible numbers, right? And they had a couple good ones, but they're still like teetering over the same numbers. I don't know if those are going to be like the type of numbers.
But I don't think they'd get rid of them. And if they did get rid of them, they'd find somewhere else to go. They've got enough of a niche audience where they could probably show, hey, these people will follow us. Correct. Between Max and HBO Max and YouTube and other platforms.
Right. Well, the one thing that they would suffer then is the talent would not be able to get paid unless Tony was really willing to just take massive losses just to keep that show on TV. So
right.
Get in the game with the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Bet on the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, soccer, golf, MMA, and more. Every sport, every market, right at your fingertips. Deposit instantly with PayPal, Venmo, or Apple Pay, starting at just $10. Win big and cash out fast. PayPal in 24 hours or instantly at retail sportsbooks. Available in over 20 states, FanDuel's app is your ticket to the action. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now.
Next is Tina from Northern Virginia. Hey, K100 King. I think Konnan would be the only one that can answer this question objectively. But in any case, during you and Disco's many traversals through the clubbing scene back in the glory days, would you say Disco could actually dance and or had rhythm, or is it just a gimmick for TV? Thanks.
I don't like putting this guy over, but he did know how to dance. He did know how to dress. And he got a lot of sometimes even female. Nothing.
That's very disrespectful.
What?
Next is from Big Country from the Discord. Shout out to my Latinx amigos in the Discord. Ricardo Righteous, Cabeza de la Mesa, Breezy, BG415, and Troy. Hola, friends. Quick question for you guys. What is your favorite Joe Pesci role? Thanks. Oh, without a doubt.
Hey, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the user, I'm not a fan.
Hate that.
And here's the other thing. Yeah. So last week you had given a number of Dynamite. Didn't it come out to be lower?
Let me get the confirmation.
No, that was two. It was another two different platforms had given the two different numbers. Nielsen had one, and that other thing had a different one.
Yeah, because I remember, and I might be misremembering. That's why I'm asking you.
You just reported
that you gave a number last week, and then we later found out it was lower.
Well, it was reported lower by another site. Yes, okay. Thing. Yeah,
WrestleNomics.
But they were incorrect.
WrestleNomics still reports it at 638.
638.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and WrestleNomics had the quarters, so I would think that was the actual number, 638.
But is that a good number? No, right?
Well, it was a little bit lower than before, but they were doing like under 6 for a little bit there,
Yeah.
My favorite Joe Pesci role is what you call it, the Two Utes.
Cousin Vinny.
What was that? What was that?
Cousin Vinny.
My Cousin Vinny. Yeah, he was good in the gangster movies too, But My Cousin Vinny's my favorite. What about you, Konnan?
Yeah, My Cousin Vinny, also the Lethal Weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let the earring fool you.
Right.
Okay. And the Casino. Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.